What if you were so good at football, you simply refused to pass the ball like everyone else? In a game built on controlled tactics and discipline, there was one man who played as if football was just a dance. A smile on his face, samba in his step, and eyes always looking the other way. This is the story of Ronaldinho, the World Cup winner who simply couldn't make a normal pass because normal was never good enough for him, leaving defenders confused and fans in awe. But behind every trick, there's a story of family, loss, and a rise to global stardom. This is how Ronaldinho became the magician who couldn't make a normal pass. Ronaldinho was born Ronaldo de Assis Moreira in Porto Alegre, Brazil in 1980. His mother, Mingalina, was a salesperson who later became a nurse, and his father, João, was a shipyard worker and semi-professional footballer. The family's fortunes changed when Ronaldinho's older brother, Roberto, signed for Grêmio. The club even gifted them a house to keep Roberto at the club. However, tragedy struck the family. His father, João, died when Ronaldinho was just 8, drowning in the pool of their new home. Then, a tragic knee injury ended Roberto's professional career prematurely. He would go on to become Ronaldinho's mentor and later his manager. Ronaldinho's first playground, not a grassy field, but on the hard courts of futsal and the sandy beaches of Porto Alegre. Futsal taught him close control, quick feet, impossible angles, and the now iconic no-look pass. In southern Brazilian futsal, looking one way and passing the other wasn't flair, it was survival. In futsal, deception is everything. Ronaldinho learned to manipulate defenders with his eyes and body, a skill that would define his style forever. By his teens, Ronaldinho was already a local prodigy. At 13, he scored all 23 goals in a 23-0 youth match. His rise through Grêmio's youth ranks was electric, and by 17, he made his senior debut for Grêmio and quickly became the team's star. His dribbling was untouchable. Defenders couldn't predict him. For him, football was jazz, unpredictable, creative, and joyful. The 1999 Rio Grande do Sul State Championship final against Internacional became legendary. Ronaldinho, still a teenager, humiliated Brazil's World Cup winning captain Dunga with a series of outrageous dribbles, including flicking the ball over his head, leaving him flat-footed. That final saw Ronaldinho score the decisive goal and deliver moments of pure magic, helping Grêmio to the title. Ronaldinho's talent was too big for Brazil to contain. After a failed move to Arsenal due to work permit issues, he signed for Paris Saint-Germain in 2001. But things weren't smooth. There were issues with the coach and moments of inconsistency, but whenever he played, magic happened. French defenders weren't ready for the Brazilian flair Ronaldinho brought. In Paris, he dazzled crowds with his flair. However, silverware was limited to the Intertoto Cup. Keeping in mind, this was a PSG before the money of today. He changed his shirt number from 21 to 10, a symbolic step for a player ready to take center stage. By 2003, Manchester United were desperate to sign him. Sir Alex Ferguson was reportedly convinced that Ronaldinho was the next global superstar. But Ronaldinho didn't just live up to expectations, he redefined them. There, Ronaldinho became a global superstar, but it was more than goals. It was his style, his joy, and yes, his no-look passes that made him unmissable. He was a showman who loved the stage. His home debut was so anticipated that the kickoff was moved to just after midnight to comply with FIFA national team regulations. His debut goal against Sevilla, a thunderbolt from distance, had fans on their feet. Things couldn't possibly go wrong. "Midnight is when I come into my own," the Brazilian superstar later said. He immediately lifted the club's spirits, and his arrival is widely credited as the turning point in Barcelona's modern history. Ronaldinho's style was pure joy, dazzling dribbles, elasticos, and above all, no-look passes that left defenders confused. He didn't just play football, he performed it. One moment said it all. El Clasico 2005 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Ronaldinho danced past defenders with such elegance that Real Madrid fans, yes, Madrid fans stood up and applauded. One of the most hostile stadiums in world football gave him a standing ovation. Xavi once said that Ronaldinho's no-look pass to assist him at the Bernabeu was the moment that started Barcelona's golden era. That pass led to their first win at Madrid in 7 years, and the rest, as they say, is history. In 2005, he won the Ballon d'Or, followed by the FIFA World Player of the Year twice. He helped Barcelona win La Liga titles and the Champions League in 2006. Who can forget his goal at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, standing, dancing on the edge of the box before a topo cut everyone off guard? This is football heritage. At his peak, he was football's most loved player, and many say the best ever. But the peak didn't last forever. Despite his brilliance, Ronaldinho's peak was short. As fast as he rose, Ronaldinho's form began to dip. His love for nightlife and partying became legendary, and by his own admission, he had no regrets about enjoying life to the fullest. Critics argue that this lifestyle cut his prime years short, and after 2006, his performances declined. Pep Guardiola, coming in as manager, wanted a new culture, and Ronaldinho was shown the door as Leo Messi began his own ascent. Barca fans were heartbroken, but the magic had faded. His body couldn't keep up with the game, his mind still saw. He joined AC Milan in 2008 and had flashes of brilliance, but never quite the same. A few no-look passes here, the Samba dribbles were still there, but he was no longer dominating games. Still, however, his smile never faded. Football for him was still a dance, just at a slower tempo now. He later returned to Brazil, playing for Flamengo and Atlético Mineiro, even winning the Copa Libertadores with the latter. He also had a stint in Mexico with Querétaro before leaving the big stage in 2018. Let's not forget Ronaldinho won the World Cup in 2002. That iconic goal against England, chipping David Seaman from 40 yards, was pure genius. Yes, he got a red card minutes later, but that's Ronaldinho. Chaos and magic in equal measure. In 2006, he was part of the much-publicized Fab Four, consisting of him, Adriano, Ronaldo, and Kaká. And playing the Joga Bonito style, the team was too top-heavy and didn't have the same result of 2002. His form was good enough to see him be included in the 30-man shortlist for the 2010 World Cup. Ultimately, however, Coach Dunga decided not to include Dinho in the final squad. Many attribute this to the humiliation Dunga endured by Ronaldinho himself years earlier, which was a shame that he wasn't on show on the World Cup stage again. He played 97 times for Brazil, scoring 33 goals and representing a generation that made football feel like theater. His international career started at under-17 level, where he won the World Cup in Egypt, making the 2002 World Cup not his only world title. Ronaldinho wasn't just a player, he was an influencer before social media. In recent years, when you saw Roberto Firmino score and stare in the opposite direction, you're seeing Ronaldinho's DNA. Young stars like Neymar also credit him as their inspiration. Across Brazil and the world, kids learn to play with joy, flair, and fun because Ronaldinho made it okay to enjoy the game again. Maybe his career didn't last as long as Messi's or Ronaldo's. Maybe he only gave us 4 to 5 years at the top. But in that short window, Ronaldinho reminded us what football is meant to be: fun. His no-look passes weren't arrogance, they were art. They were his way of saying, I see the game differently. He wasn't just a World Cup winner, he was a football revolutionary who didn't need to look to find magic. So the next time you see a no-look pass, remember the man who turned it into a weapon of beauty. Ronaldinho didn't just play football, he danced with it.